Wow. Look at you. You're hot.
Why are you like this? Hi, welcome back to...
Hey, Monday Night Live. It just seems like we did this just last week.
I know, right?
I'm excited. Hey.
Already messed up.
Thank you guys for joining us. We're so happy to be back with you. We're going to hang out for the next hour and talk about all things nutrition, medicine, and stuff.
We are so bad at introducing ourselves at the beginning of these, so we're trying to get better at that. You know why I know we're bad at this? Because I watched Two Crazy Ketos, and they're really good at it. And I was like, you know what? We need to get better at that.
I love their intro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is Neisha Solis-Berry. She is a registered nurse, was an LPN before that, was a CNA before that. She is now a certified lactation consultant. She is a exemplary example of the female gender. She is amazing. She is the mother of my children, Beckett and Bonnie Blue, and she is my best friend in the whole world.
Aw, that's sweet. This is Dr. Berry. He's a family medicine physician with over 20 years of patient experience. He has healed his own health issues with a proper human diet. And we've been doing this Monday Night Live thing for a really long time.
Yeah. I used to be fat and ugly. And keto.
He was not ugly.
Well.
He was not ugly.
It was less pretty.
But he started his YouTube channel 5 years ago.
Has it been 5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
We have been doing this Q&A thing since then.
Yeah. First on Facebook, now here. Hey, Holly Crazy, thank you so much.
So we're happy to be here. Our mentors in the comment section will be helping us answer questions. We usually have around 3,000 people watching on the live, so we can't get to every question, but they help us get to a lot of them. So thank you guys for being here and helping us out. Let's get started. You have any announcements? Yes. So the first announcement is that we will be going on the 2023 Low-Carb Cruise, which is June of 2023, and we sail out of Galveston, Texas, and that's exciting because I have family in Texas, so we're happy to do that.
Chewbacca.
Can you see
right there?
Oh, Lily's over here. And so if you're interested in that, I think Dr. Berry has put the link in the show notes. To the website.
I have not, but it is lowcarbcruise.com. Is that what I wrote down over there?
Yes. Yeah. Lowcarbcruise.com if you're interested.
Cruise with us.
Nurse Cindy will be on there. I think Two Crazy Ketos. Are y'all going to be on there too? Some good people. It's always a good time, and we're excited about that. Anything else?
Neisha worked on a vlog all day. It's going to be really amazing. Will you post it tomorrow on your channel?
I'm finally back to it.
She's back in the groove. Her channel is just Neisha on YouTube. Neisha.
That's me. All right, let's take some questions.
Let's do it.
We got Miss Janice June. Keto carnivore for 6 weeks. Blood test results now total cholesterol up from 215 to 300 since December. LDL is 206, HDL 81, triglyceride 63. All other blood work is normal. Is this okay? I'm a healthy overall person.
Yes, Miss Janice, that is fine. Your triglycerides and HDL cholesterol are exemplary. A lot of doctors who are not learned enough would worry about your high total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol, but more and more research is coming out to show that that's the least of your concerns. I hope that you checked an A1C and it was normal, and a fasting insulin or C-peptide, and they were also normal. If so, congratulations. You're now metabolically healthy.
Brian, thank you for the super sticker. Is that a corgi? It's pretty cute. 2 of our girls have corgis.
Melinda's got a good question.
Melinda, hey, Neisha, my daughter's having her first baby on Thanksgiving.
Yay.
Congratulations. How can you help long distance with lactation? So for most women, I can provide as much as they need. Very, very few women need hands-on things. It's mostly education, support, and the ability to ask questions and that sort of thing. So I will be able to take virtual clients. Now, there are a few things, like if the baby has a lip tie or tongue tie that would come in that she would need to see someone face-to-face. But for the most part, lactation is mostly about support and education. So keep an eye out. I'll have lactation consultations up and running in the next month. Susan, can my doctor refuse to see me if I won't take atorvastatin, or can I lose my insurance for refusing to take it?
You probably cannot lose your insurance, but the doctor-patient relationship is a bi-voluntary relationship, which means that your doctor can fire you at any time for any reason, and you can fire your doctor at any time for any reason. In this respect, the doctor is just like your hairdresser or your mechanic. If you guys are getting along and it feels like a good partnership, you can continue. But at either time, any time, either of you can cancel that relationship. If your doctor refused to see you because you won't take a statin, I'm glad your doctor did that. That's a good thing. Now you have an opportunity to find a doctor who understands true metabolic health and how to reverse the chronic diseases of modernity that we currently suffer from.
Melinda, yes, she would need to see a consult, me or someone else, before baby. It's much better to be prepared than have to catch up after baby gets here. So let's give a shout out to Joe Drees, who was 400 pounds and is now down to 353 since June 1st. Nothing is stopping me now that I understand how to keto and intermittent fast.
That's right, Joe. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Kathy is going on the cruise. She made her reservation today. So you on the cruise.
Who wants to cruise with us? It's so much fun.
Marsha's excited about my vlog. Thank you, Miss Marsha. Hey, Marie, thank you very much for the super chat. Hunt In says, been carnivore since March 1st, down 60 pounds, and reversed my sleep apnea. How can I maintain my current weight without losing more? So
carnivore, ketovore, keto are not weight loss diets. You're like, well, I've been losing weight. Yeah, I know. They are weight optimization diets. As your weight approaches your ideal body weight, your ideal body fat percentage, your weight loss will slow down. And indeed, many people in this chat will tell you that those last 10, 15, 20 pounds come off really, really slowly. So don't feel like you're just going to dry up and blow away, as Granny Berry says. You're going to go to your ideal body weight. And then as long as you're eating until satiation, eating to your stuff, you're not going to keep losing weight. It doesn't work that way. Your body's very wise, very anxious, very intelligent. It knows what to do. Just feed it the right food.
All right. Joy says, my mother insists on eating for her blood type. What are your thoughts?
Okay. First of all, this is your mother. So be respectful, be loving. Okay. But the blood type diet is complete and utter foolishness. I can remember sitting at remember the high table over at the old farmhouse? That's where I would sit there and read the blood type diet book in one night. And initially I was like, wow, this is sexy. I like this. It
sounds sexy.
And then I'm like, when I get to work tomorrow, I'm going to look up some references. And then the more I researched, the more I was like, this doesn't make any sense. There's literally no science to back this up. Blood type has nothing to do with your diet.
Carmel says, I just completed my first week of triple B&E and I lost 7 pounds.
Nice.
I would love to continue, but I need to get more creative since beef is so expensive right now. All right, so Carmel, you can absolutely use cheaper cuts of beef, ground beef, chuck, stew meat, those type of things. That's still beef. You don't have to buy the grass-fed, grass-finished types of cuts, ribeyes, those type of things. The main thing is to make sure you're cooking them in good fat and eating plenty of food. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to eat beef. I know prices are going up.
Yep.
It sucks, but I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yep. And actually the prices for meat and produce, they have went up due to inflation, but they've only went up anywhere from 5 to 15%, depending on the source of information. But the highly processed crap in the middle of the store, some of that stuff's went up 20 or 30%. Plus, they've made the boxes magically smaller. So inflation's going to get you coming and going. You really should just pay the money and eat the food that gives you the best health that you can afford.
But don't feel like you have to buy the most expensive.
You don't. That's right.
Build Life says, hey doc, when I read labels and they say less than 2% corn syrup and sugar, is this an amount to still be concerned with when fixing arthritis along with weight loss?
It's a valid question. And if all you can afford is stuff that has that little bit of maltodextrin, corn syrup, sugar, try it. And if your arthritis continues to improve, then that's your answer. But if your arthritis keeps flaring up, that's also your answer.
Eric, doctor, my PhD is going great except when I vigorously exercise. I don't have the strength and endurance that I had on the former standard American diet.
So the vast majority of people can work out or work on the farm or work in the backyard just fine on a carnivore, ketovore, keto diet. If you are doing an elite level workout, like you're training for a Division I football, volleyball, soccer, or you want to be a competitive bodybuilder, you might, so those are inappropriate, not proper human activities. And so you may have to tweak your diet. You may have to add some fruit right before you exercise in order to do that elite level workout. But the vast majority of people, including some elite level athletes, have amazing performance. So probably you just need to give it some more time for your body to really adjust and be completely keto adapted.
If you want to follow someone who does vigorous heavy lifting exercise, Keto Savage and his wife both eat a very heavy meat ketogenic diet and high fat as well, and they share lots of information on their YouTube channel. Did you just burp?
No.
Hey Marie, thank you so much for the sticker.
Thank you.
Julie, I see your chat, but it says message retracted.
Why does
I don't
it do
know
that?
what is happening.
That's so weird.
That is not us doing that.
No, not us. You guys are welcome to share this video. We've got 2,400 watching right now. Every time you share this video on your social media, it helps us reach new people who've never heard this before, who don't know that type 2 diabetes is reversible. So please share this, because you could literally change the trajectory of someone else's life, someone maybe you've never met.
Tim, carnivore 10 weeks, A1C down 2 points. I've lost 20 pounds. Just tested with high protein in my urine, creatine 215, microalbumin creatine was 615. Should I be concerned about my kidneys? My GFR is 75.
Perhaps. Definitely you have early signs of stage 1 CKD. That does not mean that you're going to have chronic kidney disease. It does not mean it's going to progress. If you continue eating the diet you're eating, you'll reverse those findings within 6 to 12 months. So I'm glad you checked that lab work. I'd also go back and look at your old lab work and see how it looked. You may have had those same findings then and your doctor just didn't tell you, but I would definitely repeat that in 3 to 6 months, and I think you'll see it slowly improving.
Clark wants to know, will you be at Low-Carb Denver, Neisha, and Dr. Berry?
I will be at Low-Carb Denver. Neisha and Beckett and Bonnie Blue will not be at
February?
Low-Carb Denver. February in Colorado.
No, thank you.
Yes.
I don't like winter as it is. No. It's
Tennessee winter's bad enough for you, right?
No for me, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, nope, not going.
Lindsay, I'm trying to fix my hypoglycemia after pregnancy, already keto.
Good. Keep lowering the carbohydrates and give your body time to heal. Hypoglycemia, unless you're on some medication that's causing it, is almost uniformly caused by the insulin spike after you eat too many carbohydrates. So as you continue to eat very low carb, this should get better and better, unless you have an undiagnosed insulinoma. Keep that in the back of your mind. You probably don't, but just keep that in the back of your mind.
Did you already take my other shoe?
Yeah, she already got one.
Okay. Dari says beef liver is still cheap. Eat your liver.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of the time, some of the best cuts that get ignored are the cheap cuts that are most nutrient dense, like liver and chicken feet and duck feet, which we showed in my video on my channel from White Oak Pasture, which is a great place to order meat if it's in your budget. So make sure you're not neglecting those type of cuts too.
This is Lily.
My girl.
This is our Chewbacca.
My girl. She needs a haircut. It's time for her to finally get a haircut. She's crazy.
I don't know where Toto is.
He's with Bonnie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go play.
All right.
Go
Mr. Oh, M. Holland. Is it often that someone can't come off their armor thyroid if the Hashimoto's has caused severe damage? Mine was left untreated for years.
Yeah. I don't think everybody can come off of their thyroid replacement hormone, especially if you're hypothyroid and there's been enough damage done that your thyroid just can't put out what it needs. You're probably going to have to be on a lifelong dose of thyroid replacement hormone. Do not think of it as a pharmaceutical, because that's not what it is. Some people, including Neisha with Hashimoto's, who caught it early enough, are able, after 2 years?
2 years of Carnivore and Ketovore, where almost all of my nutrition was from meat or meat products like eggs and fish, seafood, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But many people notice they don't need as much thyroid hormone replacement, so they're able to decrease from 100 to 50 or from 90 to 60. So
CJK says, my doctor's refusing to check my hormones. Are there any companies you can recommend for ordering my own blood work? Working on finding a new doc, but I want answers in the meantime.
Yep. True Health Labs is a great company online. Own Your Labs is another great company. Probably what you need to do, because you also need a doctor who's going to fix your hormones after you get them diagnosed, is do an internet search for the large city near you. Say it's Denver. You're just going to search bioidentical hormone therapy, Denver. So whatever that big city is near you, and you'll find 4 or 5 docs who will order all these labs for you, and they'll also know how to do the hormone pellets or the hormone cream or the hormone troches or whatever you need to get your hormones optimized.
Randy, is there an electrolyte drink mix that does not have any sugars or sugar substitutes, which may have an impact on blood sugar levels, negative impact?
Oh, that's a complex question. So there are many electrolyte drink mixes that do not have sugar. They sweeten stevia. Some of them are unsweetened, unflavored. Redmond's Relight is one. That's what I'm drinking right now.
Element has unflavored, unsweetened.
Yep. And so if it's unflavored and unsweetened, it's not going to have any impact on your blood sugar, but also no impact on your insulin either. And I think for some of us who are still very metabolically ill, you need unflavored electrolytes, 100%.
Two Crazy Ketos has a link if you guys are interested in the unsweetened electrolytes.
There's Kevin, PhD mentor, and 2 of my favorite people on the planet, Rachel and Joe.
Who will be at our
Two Crazy
summit,
Ketos.
which is coming up.
Yes.
Who is going to be there in person?
September 17. It's sold out in person,
out.
But you can watch it on Keto Chow's YouTube channel. The whole
Free.
The whole thing for free, thanks to Keto Chow.
We love you guys. All right. Did I get everybody? No. Julie, my husband and I have been on Carnivore since February. A1C down to 5.5 from 6.6, HDL 49, LDL 161, triglycerides 240, ferritin 730. Could his allergy pill or
Triamterene HCTZ
affect
these? Yeah, so the HCTZ is raising his blood sugar some, and that could definitely have an effect on that. His triglycerides are still high, which tells me that he's probably still eating too many total carbohydrates on average each day for his personal physiology. So even if he's eating keto right now, he may need to crank down the carbohydrate intake knob down to Ketovore, or maybe he needs to do 90 days of carnivore and then recheck. And I think you'll find them to be perfectly normal at that time.
Allie, hey, Dr. Barry and Neisha, what would you say to a nutritionist who says that you shouldn't listen to a medical doctor for advice on nutrition since they weren't taught much nutrition in medical school?
So it would depend on the nutritionist and what they were recommending and on the doctor. Right. Yeah, because the nutritionist is exactly right. They get much more training in nutrition, but unfortunately, the training that they very often get is sponsored by big food corporations. In fact, many of the schools of dietetics are basically fully funded by Kellogg's and Kraft and Mondelez and PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. So there's that. But also most doctors, if they have any sense at all, they're going to go back and do some self-study about nutrition. Once they hear about a proper human diet and how you can reverse type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, lower blood pressure, and all these things, they're like, shit, I need to get caught up on my reading. How are these other doctors doing this? In that case, you should listen to that doctor.
And if this nutritionist is talking about Dr. Berry and she disagrees with what he says, oh my gosh.
I was showing him my reading.
I know. Okay. There's a great book called The Dietitian's Dilemma that you can maybe gift to your nutritionist, and that would maybe help
open
her eyes.
A registered dietitian, Michelle Hearn, good friend of ours.
Great. It's a great book for anybody, but absolutely for someone who's a nutritionist. Thank you, Wendy, for the super chat. I don't know how to pronounce that.
IRS QPETs.
I read Common Sense Labs and had a doctor appointment today and regulated them all, and he said yes. Here's to better health. Since starting carnivore, I am feeling shaky and uneasy. Any thoughts?
Make sure you're using enough salt. Make sure you're getting enough fat. Make sure you're getting enough electrolytes, and make sure you're eating until you're comfortably stuffed. Do not portion control.
Yeah, it's usually salt. A lot of people just aren't getting enough salt.
That's why I
on
said that
carnivore.
first.
Yeah. Also, what is Common Sense Labs, anyways? What's
So,
ISQRS?
Kim Howard and I wrote this book.
Do we have a
called
copy?
No, we don't
Not
have a
yet.
physical copy.
Okay.
It's in the mail. Common Sense Labs book.com is the website. You can get an electronic version, or you can get a paperback version. And we're going to have a paperback version here one day so I can show it to you. But it basically explains to you which labs you need, how to cajole your doctor into ordering them. Even gives the ICD-10 code your doctor can put on your form so that insurance will pay for them. And tells you what the normal range is, but also what's the optimal range you want that lab to be in. I think it's going to be a very useful book for many people.
The link
Link
is
in the show notes.
You got it. Good job. Yeah, Lily is huge, and
Yes.
she'll be 5 months old next week, so
It's crazy.
she's going to be even bigger. It's insane.
Such a sweet dog.
Rod says, "Hey doc and nurse, thanks for what you do. I've been carnivore for a solid month and starting to have calf muscle cramps and heart pounding intermittently. I've been taking sea salt and electrolytes. Will this pass?"
You probably bump the electrolytes up. Now, really make sure you're getting plenty of magnesium and potassium. Those are the two most common electrolytes that would lead to either one of those symptoms.
Hey,
If the heart thing continues, go see your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Aurora, thanks for the sticker.
Hey,
Hiya.
thank you,
That's cute.
Aurora.
Great name.
Love it.
Any other things we have to? Hi to Granny Berry.
Granny Berry, my 92-year-old granny, is watching this from Alabama. She lives with our folks down there. If you would please, it makes Granny Berry's night for people to say hi to her and where they're saying hi from. If you wouldn't mind, because it would make Granny Berry happy.
She loves it. Eric says, "We have a 7-year-old overweight son. Started him and others on keto today, hoping for weight loss for him. Is keto safe for little ones?"
Yes. If your little one is a Homo sapien sapien, which means basically if you brought them home from the hospital with you, then they're human. They need to eat a proper human diet. It is applicable to every human on the planet without exception, regardless of medical condition, regardless of what you've had surgically removed, regardless of what age you are, from 5 months old to 105 years old, you need to eat a proper human diet. Thank you, Ashley.
All of our kids, it's weird, are either on keto or will be on keto or a form of keto.
100%. They're going to eat real human food.
Yeah, if we say that, it sounds crazy, but it's like, but that just means they eat real food.
Meat and veg. That's what they eat. That's what they're going to eat.
Berries.
Meat and veg.
Beckett loves berries, strawberries, and blueberries.
Yep.
He loves bacon and eggs.
Yep.
He loves cheese. He loves nuts.
Yep.
Does that sound like a diet, or does that
Yeah.
sound like
Yep.
real food?
And that's a great hack. If your doctor just freaks out every time you say the K word, or you're afraid they're going to, just say, I eat a diet consisting of all natural meat, veg, a few nuts, and a few berries. That's what I eat. And your doctor will be like, oh, that's good. Yes, keep that up.
Ashley, thank you so much for the sticker. Russell says, can carnivore improve my ejection fraction?
So being in ketosis is being shown more and more in cardiac research to improve ejection fraction, stroke volume, and even people with quite severe heart failure. Turns out that their heart actually burns ketones much more efficiently than it does glucose. So I predict that you all will see over the next 5 to 10 years more and more cardiac recommendations. And what they'll recommend is I'll tell you right now, within 5 years, there's going to be an FDA approved pharmaceutical ketone. That's going to happen. 100% going to happen. And of course, they'll write you the prescription for that. But you know that instead of paying $10,000 a month for this exogenous ketone that you have to go through prior approval and copays, just eat keto and you'll make all the ketones you need for free. And this will help your heart beat more efficiently and more strongly.
David, hey guys, love you back. Could you go over why there's no fish or chicken on bbb&e other than the obvious, it's not beef or bacon?
Yeah, so the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge is just that, a challenge. What we're trying to do is make this simple, rememberable, repeatable, and it's very satiating. Now, if you'd like to include a cold water fish like sardines, anchovies, herring, mackerel, that's totally fine. On your beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge, you could call it the bbb&e EF challenge, right? But it's just a challenge. It's just easy to remember. That's why we say it that way.
It also is easy for people to follow. It's simple.
Yeah.
And most of the things that are on beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, those are close to 1-to-1 fat to protein ratio, which is really good for most people. Yeah. So tracking macros is, you don't have to do that. Yep. You don't have to do any of the complicated stuff. It's just eat this, eat till you're full, eat when you're hungry. That's it. Free Band says, what kind of diet are you on, Kendi Berry, MD?
So I eat a proper human diet that consists of meat and eggs with the yolk. And Neisha is on a proper human diet that consists of fatty meat, eggs with the yolk, some vegetables, a few nuts, a few berries. Our son, who's 2 3/4 years old right now, is on a diet, a proper human diet that consists of fatty meat, eggs with the yolk, some vegetables, a few berries, and a few nuts. Our baby Bonnie, who is 7 weeks old, is on a proper human diet that consists of breast milk right now. Those are all on the PhD spectrum.
Vegan X says, why do people who eat only plants and mostly plants live longer? Do they?
Well, I don't think they do, Vegan Mix. So you're referring to the Seventh-day Adventist study that was done. But here's the problem. See, they don't drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes, and they're also very active. And that probably has a lot to do with it, right? But here's the thing. There actually was a study that compared Seventh Day with the Mormons. The Mormons are also very vigorous, active, intelligent people. They also don't smoke. They also don't drink alcohol or caffeine. They live just as long. So all these studies done by plant-based researchers, they'll cloud your judgment. You'll be like, oh, see, the Seventh Day, they live like, no, they don't. No. Also, the blue zones are horse shit. I don't know if you've never heard me say that before. I've actually been to Guanacaste in Costa Rica. We're going to eventually visit all the blue zones. And when I was in Costa Rica, every meal had pork. Every meal had either pork broth or pork in it or some kind of meat or some kind of egg. Dan Buettner is not a scientist, not an MD, not a PhD. He's a journalist. And he also believes in a plant-based diet. So you get all these preconceived notions that they then purport to you as fact when in fact, it's not fact.
Wendy, thanks to both of you. Low-carb, anti-inflammatory eating for 5 months, down 32 pounds.
Yes.
Feeling great. I was surprised my A1C is 5.7. It hasn't moved. I do have Hashimoto's. Could this be affecting it?
Maybe a little bit. Also, if you're still taking any prescription medications, they may be affecting that as well. 5.7 is not terrible. You're only 1/10 of a point from normal. So keep doing what you're doing. It sometimes takes people's metabolisms a few months to get back to normal. Check it again in 3 months and keep eating very low carb between now and then. And I think you'll be very happy.
Woo. We got behind somehow.
Come on, woman. We got 3,000 people.
It's not my fault. Blame YouTube. Jeff, thank you. Jamie, thank you. My trucked up life. Love it. Former 7-year vegan, carnivore now for 1 month. My triglycerides are 59, Good. HDL 59, Good. LDL 126. Good. My doctor wants me to eat fruits and veggies. Best way to clear arteries, he says.
Yeah, that's dumb. So the sugar and grains and vegetable seed oils, if you have any artery clogging, that's what caused it. So your diet is going to prevent any further artery clogging and probably will reverse some of your existing clogging if you give it a long enough time.
3,000 people watching tonight. So those of you who have shared, thank you so much.
Yes.
Hitting that like button, sharing, commenting, all this stuff helps us reach new people. If you're new, type new in the comments.
Yeah, who's new? Type it. Don't be shy. Just type new.
Tammy, type 3C, dealing with flare-ups of gastritis for 4 weeks, issues with oxalates, eating squash, potato, and chicken. Wish I could be full carnivore. How can I heal it?
By being full carnivore. I'm sorry. I know. Just keep, and don't worry. You don't have to switch overnight. Just keep slowly converting, and you're going to notice your symptoms get better and better and better. Oh man, we got a bunch of
I
new
love
people.
it.
Look at this.
Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the tribe.
Jason, what a dilemma. Girlfriend seems to react negatively to everything except ruminants and sweet potatoes, but she hates the taste of meat and she only wants to eat 100% potatoes. Any advice?
Well, Jason, you're not her daddy. I mean, she may call you that sometimes, but you're not. Let her eat what she wants to eat. You eat what you know is right for you. And if you guys grow apart, then, I mean, maybe that was for the best.
Potatoes? Just potatoes.
Yeah. Like if you
I
just
think that's interesting.
if you ate both Irish potatoes and sweet potatoes, so you had a colorful variety of potatoes and purple.
There's purple potatoes.
You'd have so many vitamin and mineral deficiencies after 6 months. Yeah, I don't recommend that diet. Maybe you can talk some sense to her. Lead by quiet example. Don't be nagging or whining.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Yeah. Maybe tell her to follow some chicks her age that eat the proper way and see if she can relate to them.
Yeah. Steak and Butter Gal, Michelle Hearn, Lily. Who else?
Me.
Not Lily the dog. Neisha. Yeah. She has her own YouTube channel, her own Instagram. She has a Twitter, which she's never on.
No, we're not going down that road. Rick, thank you so much for the super sticker. You're amazing.
How many of you guys think Neisha needs to get her butt over to Twitter?
Nobody.
And help me fight?
Nobody thinks so.
We're fighting for the health of the world here.
Not two T's. How about some advice on what to drink on bbb&e?
Yep.
Very simple.
Water, sparkling water, black coffee, unsweetened tea. Boom.
Jamie, mitral valve gradient, 17, no symptoms after 4 days, 3 months on carnivore. Keto didn't even do that. And I've been keto 6 months.
Yeah. Carnivore is pretty magical for some medical conditions. Definitely for every metabolic condition. It's magic.
Eileen said she doesn't need that stress. She needs to relax and feed that baby. That's right.
B Rose says, nope, no Twitter.
Thank you.
Chris, come on, you guys.
The support. Thank you.
Come on. She needs to be on Twitter.
No. Jody. Hey, Miss Jody. GMA 54 and mom 75 both died of chronic heart disease. Had a CAC of 19 back in 2016 at 50 years old. How long in the Ketovore should I recheck? And what numbers should concern me?
Yep.
My A1C in February was 5.4.
Oh, that's a great A1C. So I would do a year of Ketovore, and then I would get your CAC rechecked. And as long as it is 22 or less, then that's perfect. That's what you want. Author Agustin, a cardiologist who basically came up with the whole concept of the CAC score, says that as long as it doesn't go up more than 10% a year, that you're winning. And so really, if yours is under 25, you're golden.
Aurora says, hello, Granny Berry.
Aww.
I've been lurking for a while now from Baltimore. Can I reverse gum disease with bbb&e? Love your energy and your content.
Yeah. Now, if you've had severe gum disease for years and you've got quite a bit of recession, not all of that's going to go back to normal. Some of that's going to be permanent, but the redness, the swelling, the pain, the bleeding, all of that stuff as your mouth microbiome gets better and better by eating zero sugar, very, very low carb. Yes, gingivitis, periodontitis, all these things, even grade 1 and grade 2 cavities will reverse and improve and go back to normal. But you might be stuck with some recession because of the permanent damage that's been done.
Oh, welcome back, Forks Carnivore. Forks, Washington. You know what's in Forks, Washington?
Yeah.
She hasn't been here in a while. Good to see you. All right. There was a potato diet out there. Yes, I had a cousin who ate the potato diet. She ate the grapefruit diet.
And it was a fad diet that came and then went because it doesn't work.
All right. There's another Gurdeep Rye. It says your message was retracted. I'm sorry. I don't know why.
Why is it doing that? I got to look that up after.
I don't know. Kim, thank you. Don't be a twit. No to Twitter. I agree. Robin, less than 20 carbs and no diabetic medication since the middle of April. A1C lower than when taking meds, but blood sugar is staying in the 130s. I'm 74. Can I hope for lower blood sugar? And how long is reasonable?
Yeah, so 3 months to 12 months is the reasonable time period. But let me tell you this. If you have a normal A1C, then that blood sugar should not be nearly as concerning to you, because that means that the physiological blood sugar your body wants you to have is not glycating as much as the artificial blood sugar spikes you'd be getting from eating a high carb diet. Those would be causing glycation. So sounds like you're doing great. I'd have to see your other labs to know for sure, but that A1C is beautiful.
Gurdeep, okay, we got it
Here
here.
we go.
Keto 2 weeks, I've lost 8 pounds, now having heart palpitations. I ordered Element and I've eaten pickles in the meantime and 0 Gatorade.
Perfect. Yep. And make sure you're getting plenty of salt. Your heart needs salt. Your heart loves salt. Salt to taste.
Brittany says, Neisha, excited to hear about your new venture. Thank you. Any top tips on eating keto carnivore while pregnant and breastfeeding? Yes. My top tips are keep it simple. And especially when you're pregnant in the first trimester, meat aversions can happen to a lot of women. So just eat what you can. And I have several videos on my YouTube channel about what I was eating in the first trimester. So check that out. And then while breastfeeding, as long as you continued eating your normal, proper human diet during pregnancy, there's no reason to worry about anything afterwards. Just continue. Keep on keeping on. Now, if you had to get off of it, or you slid off, or you just were like, forget it, I'm just going to survive pregnancy, like, it's fine. Okay. But don't change back to keto overnight. Just slowly decrease your carbs 20 to 50 over several weeks. And don't do that until you've already established your supply. Usually that's the first 2 weeks after baby gets here. So just relax, take care of baby for 2 weeks, and then start when you feel good, get back into it. But don't feel like you have to switch that flip right now.
Yep.
And it has nothing to do with keto's bad for breastfeeding. It has to do with the stress changing from a high carb diet to a low carb diet. And sometimes that can cause fluid shifts, which can decrease supply. But as long as you're going slow and you're just giving yourself some grace, it's all fine. I'm going to be doing a lot more information stuff. And I have an ebook that I'm going to be giving away as well, which has a lot of stuff in there. So Brittany, if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me at Neisha Loves It, because I'll be posting a lot over there. Angelic Annihilator, welcome back. Thoughts on colloidal silver? Some swear by it.
Yeah, colloidal silver, if properly made, and that's very important, is great as a antimicrobial on your skin. I'm not a big fan of ingesting it. Silver is not an essential mineral. And now, one thing that our ancestors used to do 100 years ago, 200 years ago, the reason they made eating utensils out of silver is because of the antimicrobial qualities of silver. So if you want to use some silver, then get some real silverware that's at least silver plated. And that way you're going to have that silver in your environment. And also buy an ounce of silver and put it in your washing machine. It'll make a little racket. That's a Southern word for noise when you're in the spin cycle, but having that silver in there will cut way down on the bacterial count in your laundry. And as long as no one steals your silver out of the washing machine, then you'll just have less bad bacteria in your clothes. But colloidal silver, ingesting it, it's probably not necessary at all. And if you ingest too much, you will have a permanent blueness to your skin. It's called Blue Man Syndrome. You can do an internet search on that right after this live if you want to see some eye-opening pictures of people with blue skin.
Buck says Neisha needs to do a video on hollandaise sauce.
Yes.
Too true, Buck.
Please do that.
Too true. One of our favorite.
She's made it.
things.
It's freaking divine.
Chef's kiss.
Divine.
Diana, been doing keto for a year. Happy to be down 75 pounds.
Huzzah!
Thank you so much for the information and help. Love watching you guys.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
Now,
Diana,
are you listening? Now it's time for you to start teaching your friends and teaching your family, because they've all seen your example. They're all watching you from a distance going, damn, she looks good. Now it's time for you to teach them how to do it.
Tara, carnivore for 7 weeks, ate ground beef with no problem, then switched to grass-fed. It made me sick and I threw up. Now previous ground beef is making me sick. Any suggestions? 7 weeks.
Yeah. If you're throwing up after each meal, you need to see your doctor. This might have nothing to do with your diet. There's nothing in grass-fed beef or supermarket beef for that matter that should make you throw up, repetitively, routinely like this, you may have something else going on.
Future Breeze. My sister keeps asking why I don't need fiber. She is worried.
Yeah. So tell your sister that fiber is not an essential nutrient. Human beings have no need for any minimum amount of fiber. This is a current fad in the nutrition community. There's no truth in this at all. The story of how fiber even became a thing, it revolves around a doctor by the name of Burkett, and it's a great story. You should look it up. It's fascinating. Basically, he went to, I think, Africa and was studying some natives there. And they because of a geographical trapping, they didn't have access to animals. So they lived on a plant-based diet, and they had multiple huge, ginormous poops every day. And they also didn't have any colon cancer. And so Burkett just made the mental leap. If you eat lots of plants, you'll poop a lot, and then you won't have colon cancer. No research done. Nothing proved it. It was just his literal opinion. And it all of a sudden became magically true. There's no research to back it up whatsoever.
Samantha, I'm wanting to add runny yolk to my baby's hamburger. Can I add it raw, or does it need to be cooked?
If the shell of the egg is uncracked, when you crack the egg, if it looks normal, it has a normal smell. Always smell anything you're about to give your baby. I think it's perfectly fine to give your baby a raw egg yolk. Absolutely. But if there's any crack in the shell, if the egg don't look right, if you're female intuition, you're like, I don't know, that egg's SAR right there, then don't give that to your baby.
Beckett had runny egg yolks, not raw, but they were runny.
Yeah, still raw on the inside. Yeah, but you might want to lightly cook just the outside, and because any bacteria, that's where the only place it could possibly be. Yeah, Linda, many people with chronic congestive heart failure or other heart diseases are told to avoid salt. It is a recommendation that is based on no meaningful science whatsoever. The human heart, it is mandatory. It has to have a certain amount of sodium, or it will not pump efficiently. It will not pump strongly enough. There's quite a bit of research and growing research that shows that if you salt your food to taste and you're in ketosis, that even people with moderate to severe heart failure, their heart function improves.
Marnie. Hey, Marnie.
Hey, Marnie.
Thanks, Barry. My doctor called me today to ask how I lowered my triglycerides because she needs to do the same. I told her the secret.
That's it. Marnie taught her doctor how to eat a proper
Marnie
human diet. This is awesome. This is how I want all you guys to do it. You don't have to be a doctor or a dietitian to teach other humans the diet that fixed your health. All you got to do is wait for them to ask. All right, don't be on the street corner preaching, holding up a sign. Wait till they ask and then teach them.
Did you mention the Salt Fix as a reference? The
Salt Fix by Dr. D. Nicolantonio has some great information about heart failure and the low salt diet. It should not be recommended at all.
Robin, Neisha, no to Twitter, but I miss you on YouTube. Well, you're in luck because I'm vlogged today and it will be up tomorrow. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel and you want to see a day in our life and what we eat and what
and hear me sing
and hear Dr. Barry sing and see Bonnie Blue, then head over to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, let's see here. Luke, sorry if you already answered, but do you see any issues eating bacon or sausage that has dextrose in the ingredients and salt with caking agent? Yeah,
so first of all, Luke, salt is good for you, not bad for you. Secondly, try to find a sausage or bacon that's completely sugar-free. But if the total carbohydrate count on the nutrition facts is 0 for a meaningful serving size, so if they're not like, 1/3 of a strip of bacon, no, that's not a serving. How many pieces are you going to eat? If it's still 0 grams of carbs, then they just use sugar in the curing process, and there's probably no sugar remaining in the food.
All right. Everyone's saying hi to Granny Berry.
They love you, Granny Berry.
Did you want something? Did you point at something?
No.
There's Bonnie's lullaby. No, it's 7:45.
7:45.
Yeah. Carl, I've been low carb since February last year. If I take 6 milligrams of Jantoven.
but my PTINR is 1. If I don't take it for a while, is that a bad thing? So a PTINR of 1, that's normal. That's what somebody's INR would be if they didn't take anything to thin their blood at all. This is one you need to clear with your doctor. And many doctors will keep prescribing anticoagulants for longer than you need them. Now, some people need to take them for life. Some people need to take them just for a year or 2 years. And so make sure and have a conversation with your doctor saying, now, are you sure I should keep taking this, or have I taken it long enough?
Craig Lacey, may be useful to a lot of folks. Who do you recommend to have your own lab tests done? We talked about this earlier, but we'll say it again. I'm using your new guide, but my doctor's argumentative.
Yeah. So the ideal situation is when you have a conversation with your doctor who considers him or herself to be your learned health partner, and they agree to order the labs that you need. That's the best situation. And in the book, Common Sense Labs, we try to give you some strategies to do that. But if your docs just won't do it, then Common Sense Labs, Own Your Labs is a good website. I think it's ownyourlabs.com. And then also truehealthlabs.com is a good lab. And I've got a link to True Health Labs on some of my YouTube videos about the ones about C-peptide and fasting insulin. They'll have a link to True Health Labs in the show notes.
And what Craig was talking about is that the reference book is called Common Sense Labs. And Dr. Berry and our friend Kim Howerton put that together. You can buy it online as an ebook or a physical copy. The link is in the description.
Yep.
Right?
It is in the description. CommonSenseLabsBook.com. And for those of you who don't know, Kim Howerton, our good friend, she ran around with undiagnosed low thyroid, hypothyroidism for 20 years because of her idiot doctors. And I'm not cutting them down. I'm just stating a fact. Did not order the full lab panel. And that's one of the things that compelled her to write this book with me is there's how many hundreds of thousands of women out there right now with undiagnosed Hashimoto's or low thyroid, and their doctor's like, oh, it's all in your head. Here's some Lexapro. There you go, honey. You need something for your mood. And you have undiagnosed thyroid disease. So that's one of the reasons we wrote that book, and we go into great detail about the thyroid labs.
He also wrote this book.
Yes, I did.
Which he never talks about. So I'm talking about it. Lies my doctor told me. Do you know how long I went without basically seeing my husband while this book was being written? So please support him. And make it worth it. Actually, right now it's #1 in several categories on Amazon. So you can buy it on Amazon. And it is on Audible, but it's not his lovely country voice. Sorry.
Country? What?
Oh, you don't think you have an accent?
No.
You don't have an accent?
Hell no.
We can step it up a notch. What if we did the whole live just like this?
Well, shoot. Let's do it, girl.
You know, to some people, that's probably just what we sound like.
Probably, yeah. If you're from Seattle, that's what we sound like.
Donna, I'm having fun making my own meat treats in my dehydrator. Do you have any suggestions or on a channel or two that has good recipes and tricks for dehydrators?
I tell you who should have a YouTube channel about using a dehydrator is our good friend Amanda Willis. She dehydrates everything and is really good at it and has great recipes, but she won't get on the YouTube channel and talk about it. If you're watching, Amanda, time to get busy.
It's pretty simple to do meat treats, you know. It's just add your own seasonings, and you know, you can do spicy and savory, and I don't know a whole lot about dehydration. We just made the same old deer jerky over and over again, so I know
which was divine.
One recipe.
It was delish.
Whoa!
Hey.
Whoa! What happened? YouTube. Bertha! Hello, I love you guys. I have spine nerve disorder, narrowing of the canals.
Spondylolisthesis. And have had 2.5 laminectomies with fusing. Does Carnivore help with the condition, or surgery is the only way? So, Bertha, before I had any more surgery, I would do 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Because in many cases, although your pain is real, there's no doubt about that. in many cases, it's caused by inflammation in the tight little spaces where your spinal nerves are trying to come out. And so if this is the opening and this is the nerve, if there's edema and swelling and inflammation, then the nerve's getting pinched, and nerves do not like that. And so by eating a very uninflammatory diet for 90 days, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, the inflammation calms down. Then all of a sudden the nerve has got room to move around again, and it stops sending you pain signals, or at least the pain signals are not nearly as severe. I'm sorry if that looks vulgar.
Crazy. Hey, Michael Moss, thank you very much. I'm trying to get to all of you. For those of you who are new, we do end our live at 8 o'clock. So if you're sending super chats, try not to send any like 2 minutes till.
Laura Spath, I think, has some good recipes with meat. Yeah, she's a great resource.
Fun.
We love her.
Yeah. Shop BC, can you describe how bad it is to yo-yo on keto? I want to entertain some guests and then some restaurants with them and enjoy restaurants with them while they are in town.
So a lot of people think that if you somehow combine keto with regular highly processed high carb food, that's somehow multiplicatively bad. And it's not. It's just like if you were an alcoholic, Shop BC, and you're like, I'm going to go 2 weeks without drinking. That's good. That's good for you. And then my friends are coming, so we're going to go out for the weekend. I'm going to drink. Well, that's bad. But it's not worse since you didn't drink for 2 weeks that you now are drinking. Do you understand? The highly processed high carb food made of sugars, grains, and vegetable seed oils are slow poisons. So anytime you don't eat them, that's a good thing. But I would opine that you can go out with your friends and you can have a great time and not eat any of those foods.
A lot of times when we go to restaurants that are fun, like with friends, we order things off the appetizer menu because they're fun, but they're mostly like, so we'll get pork belly or oysters.
Charcuterie.
You interrupted me and made me go, I don't even know what just happened.
Blame it on me, I'll take it. It's fine.
Those type of things. So they're fun to eat with our friends. Mm-hmm. We don't have to like suffer the consequences of eating something that wouldn't actually be enjoyable, because then we go home and feel like crap for 3 days.
Yep.
So, entertain that idea, Love Lies My Doctor Told Me. That book is so amazing.
Oh, thank you guys.
They do have a Kindle version as well, too.
I'll bet one of you guys needs to buy a copy of Lies for your doctor. Just saying.
Christmas is coming,
When's Doctor's Day? That's when everybody should.
John, can I do triple B&E and never eat any other thing than that forever?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you can actually. Especially if all the meats are pastured and grass-fed. Yes. You want the chickens running around eating bugs and eggs, that you get the bugs and worms, and they'll eat eggs too, okay? They're omnivores. They'll eat anything. But you want them to not just be eating grain. You want the cows, if you can afford it, to be eating actual grass. You want the pigs to be pastured, eating acorns and grub worms, if you can afford it. Because those meats definitely have more nutrition. Those eggs definitely have a little more nutrition. But if all you can afford is the cheap stuff, you can do just fine with hot dogs and mustard and bologna and Spam and potted meat. Did you know that Underwood actually makes liverwurst in a little can, just like the deviled ham? They have liverwurst. And I bought a whole case of it when I found it. I was so happy.
7 Young says, my girlfriend has been suffering with horrible fatigue constantly, progressively getting worse. Through the last 2 years, she's on many anxiety meds, birth control. They just ordered 12 labs on hormones. Any thoughts?
Yeah. So first and foremost, Siobhan, it could be some of the anxiety medications. More and more research is coming out to show that anxiety medications, depression medications, mood stabilizer medications are grossly overprescribed, and they can have disastrous side effects, one of which is severe fatigue. And so I would take a look at all the anxiety meds with fresh eyes. The birth control is probably not causing this, although it is increasing her risk.
There's more and more women saying that they've been affected mood and fatigue wise by birth control.
But definitely it's increasing her risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, blood clot, and heart attack by taking the birth control. Not saying stop the birth control, get knocked up. I'm saying Yes, all that needs to be looked at. Her diet. What's her diet? If she's eating a high carb, highly processed junk diet, that's contributing. Now, there are a few medical conditions that can be very severe, that the first symptom is really chronic progressive fatigue. So she really needs to go see a good doctor and lay out all these symptoms and say, look, are you sure I don't have some weird condition where my nerves are demyelinating or something? Because I mean, literally, my fatigue is getting worse quickly. Dex.
New here, wondering what's a good alternative to using seed oils when using an air fryer.
Yes.
Good
Welcome,
question.
Dex. Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Air fryer.
Yeah. So air fryers, you don't
need any.
typically add fat.
Yeah.
So after you cook your food in the air fryer, you can put butter on top. That is a wonderful PhD approved fat. You can use beef tallow. You can use bacon grease. I'm not sure how you do it in an air fryer, but you can put it on after.
So what if you're doing like Brussels sprouts or something? A lot of people will toss okay, I know what you're saying. Like they spray avocado oil on a lot of things to make them stick. Yep. You don't necessarily have to do that. But if you want to, you can heat up the fat, put it in a metal bowl, toss your veggies or whatever you're cooking in the metal bowl, and then lay them into the air fryer, and that should work.
Do you know how good your broccoli will taste if you toss it in melted bacon fat and then put some Redmond's seasoned salt on it? Oh, yes.
Throw some garlic in there.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Good stuff. All right. That's what he meant. All right.
Okay.
For a minute, I was like, what? But that's because we cook meat in our air fryer. Thank you, Amy. All right. Any last minute things that we need to discuss?
Oh, let me see my list right there. Let me make sure I've talked about it. Oh, we're going to be at Ketopalooza.
Oh, yes.
With our good friend, Autumn. If you just search for Ketopaloo, as in Louisville, because it's in Louisville, Kentucky. So Louza.
Or you can just watch Autumn Keto
on YouTube
and Instagram. And you can find all information there. I'm pretty sure there's still tickets available. And Autumn and Dr. Berry will be doing a live coming up in the next week, I think.
Yep, we are.
Yeah.
And then also, if you'd like some recipes of foods that we actually eat and have had a hand in designing, there is a blog called cookingketowithfaith.com that you can go and it actually has a list of Dr. Berry's favorites, and it'll soon have a list of Neisha's favorites.
If you watch any of my vlogs, any recipe basically that shows up in my videos, that's where it came from.
Cooking Keto with Faith.
Yeah. I have a few of my own, but mostly they're Melissa's.
Yeah.
Which is confusing because it's called Cooking Keto with Faith.
That's her daughter.
Yeah. So, but it is Melissa's recipes, and they are delicious. Some of our favorites include
meat. Well, they've got a meat-based chili that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, her keto chili.
Oh,
a lot of you have tried it. You know, it's amazing. She makes really good arroz con pollo. That's keto. If you're a Puerto Rican girl like me, it's legit.
Or a Cubano, or in any way Hispanic. Arroz con pollo.
Okay. Well, it's designed after my Puerto Rican abuelita's recipe. It is so good.
It's so good. It makes me cheat on carnivore with keto a little bit every time she makes it. I got to have a spoonful of that.
Somebody is really interested in these arm veins. Okay, they want to see them. They want to see
these. These are farm arms. Okay, this is from cutting down trees and flipping logs.
All you nurses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could get a 18 right there, easy, without even looking. You could get a big calf needle right here.
All right. And barbecue bologna. Yes, she shared that the other day.
Oh,
that's her recipe.
So good. Yeah. So good.
So go check out that blog. If you're getting bored, there's a ton of recipes on there. And they're mostly, they're all Neisha approved. But, he doesn't eat a lot of vegetables. So some of them are not carnivore. But they're delicious.
But they're all proper human diet.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you want to see what we eat in a day, go follow me on my YouTube channel. It is at Neisha, Neisha, and we share lots of things over there. Our daily life, recipes, what we feed our kids, all that good stuff.
You can actually just click on her name in the title of this video. It'll take you straight to her YouTube channel.
Go subscribe.
And you could sub and hit the bell. Ding, ding.
New video up tomorrow.
Oh, good. I can't wait to watch. I'm going to give it a good thumbing.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us for this hour. We'll be back next Monday, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
If you didn't get enough of this tonight, we're going to be live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. inside of our private community on patreon.com. If you got a question you really need the answer to, that's the place to go. There's a link in the show notes. You can sign up, and we have 4 extra live Q&As every week inside of our Patreon community with, instead of 3,300 people asking questions, there's 100, 200, 300. So we're able to answer way more questions in much more detail.
You get to meet people who are really awesome, make new friends.
Such a great tribe.
And we're going to see a lot of you at the summit in a few weeks. So.
Heck yeah. I can't wait.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Love you, mean it.